Hello from ABA Tech Show 2018 in Chicago, Illinois. I'm Dennis Kennedy, along with
Zachary Bambacht.
And Josh Poje.
And we're on the road with the Legal Talk Network. And we're back. Thank you so much for joining us on the road from the Windy City at ABA Tech Show 2018. And we're in the second day, most of the way through it. And it's been great. And I think that Zach and Josh will be able to give us the sort of ABA point of view, because they've been so involved and they do a lot of work I don't think a lot of people appreciate or know about. So we're really interested in getting their point of view and some of their observations. So, Zach, why don't you tell us what you do for ABA and your involvement in Tech Show and maybe some of the other things?
Thank you. I'm the director of the Law Practice Division of the American Bar Association, and this is our annual Tech Show, and we're excited because this is where we bring lawyers together with people that specialize in technology dedicated to the legal profession.
And is this your first Tech Show?
This is my first Tech Show. I've been with the Law Practice Division now 6 months, and this is what we prep all year for.
Okay. And Josh, what's your actually fairly new role with ABA?
Yeah. It's a confusing title, but I'm the director of the Law Practice and Technology Group, which encompasses the Law Student Division, the Young Lawyer Division, the Law Practice Division, the Senior Lawyer Division, and the Career Center. So I now oversee all of the groups that within the ABA that deal with the heart of your practice without being a specific practice specialty or a specific practice setting.
And then how many tech shows have you been to? And you've been responsible for a few yourself.
Yeah, I've been going to Tech Show since 2008, I think. So I guess this would be number 10. I was actually in Zach's role the last 3 years as director of Law Practice Division. So yeah, I've run a few, and now I have the great gift of actually being able to come a little bit more as an attendee again, which is great because I love the show.
I'm guessing it's a little easier to come to Tech Show in this role than it was in your previous role.
Oh yeah. I keep saying this. Zach's probably sick of hearing it, but I get to play the grandpa role where I get to do the fun stuff, and then as soon as there's a problem, I introduce people to Zach and I walk away. And it's
nice.
He does. He really does that.
So Zach, maybe you can kind of sketch out how Tech Show fits in the mix of what the Law Practice Division does. I mean, I think it is the signature event, but it's just one part of the whole mix.
Well, I think the Law Practice Division has 4 key areas that we serve, and that is practice management, finance, marketing, and the 4th key component that brings us all here, the technology. And this show in particular, to me, focuses on 2 sides of that technology. One, programming that's relevant to the participants of Tech Show and getting them the speakers that they want to hear for the technology subjects that they're interested in. And then the other main component of this is the exhibition that we do. The exhibition is really just amazing this year with all the space that we have and the exhibitors we have on hand that can give product demos and tell us about their products and services and just engage with the lawyers in a space that they normally don't get together and can openly, discuss these things in a format that they otherwise don't often have.
And this is a new venue for us. So I guess, other than the venue change, Josh, what are some of the changes that what do you notice this year as compared to previous years? It seems like I don't know why, it seems like more people, a higher energy level this year. So
the venue is a big change. It actually has a big impact, I think, on the expo hall in particular because it's opened it up so much that we see people moving around a lot more, and I think that's driving a lot of the energy. But attendance is up too, and we're seeing a lot of enthusiasm in places that we haven't necessarily seen it before. We have far more students here than usual, both because they see interesting programming that can help them professionally. I think they also see this as a place where they can explore a different kind of career path. That's what several have told me. So yeah, it's just a more energetic place, and I think Tech Show made a transition in the last couple of years to, the thing that's always a strength of Tech Show is that it has really practical education, right? So it'll help you actually be a better lawyer on a day-to-day basis. But we've managed to add on more of a forward-thinking focus of adding on, this is where you're going to be in the next 5 to 10 years. And I think that's really important and really hard to do both at the same time, but Tech Show's done a really good job of it in the last couple of years. And so I think that's contributing to the energy too, because you get a good blend of attendees as a result, the people who are here because they want to push the bleeding edge of technology, and you also get the people who are practicing in a small town and want to just do better for their clients.
Yeah, I mean, I think the whole practical piece is the key at the law practice division. And I guess, Zach, as an ABA member, you kind of have a choice of which section or division you get involved in. So what should appeal to people about the law practice division? Why is that something they might want to join? So in addition to Tech Show, what are some of the other things out there?
I think there's two key things to focus on there. One, we broadly apply to everyone for practice management and practice management skills. So fundamentally, I think we have a very broad appeal. And then we get into areas to help you manage your business better. I think business development is key to all ABA members and especially our members. So we're there to help you with the marketing and the finance related to that. And just make sure you're fundamentally sound. And once you're fundamentally sound, that you have more room to grow from there.
And Josh, data is a big word in these days in the law practice, and one of the things that the law practice division does is a technology survey every year that provides especially trending information, because it's been going on I don't know how many years. You probably know that, but why don't you talk about the survey and how the law practice division makes that available, the results available to people?
Yeah, absolutely. So the ABA Legal Technology Resource Center has run the survey for, I think, about 30 years. And it's a little bit unique in the market. There are several really great studies out there. Ours focuses on average lawyer technology, so we're actually asking the lawyers the answer to answer the questions. And so we get really interesting results, very different results by firm size, by practice area. We produce an annual report out of it that's published. And primarily is you'll find it in the law library. That's the place you go look for it, because it's a big, dense, 700-page tome. We also have great authors, including yourself, who take that data and turn it into a little bit more digestible form in what we call Tech Report, which are a series of short, focused articles that use the data to kind of share what's going on in the market, and often include some trends that the expert author sees. Where is cloud computing heading? Where is marketing heading with respect to technology? So, doing the survey for as long as I've been doing it has been fascinating. It's interesting to see the trends. There are certain things that don't change. Large law firm attorneys will never necessarily know what technology their firms actually use. But we've seen much wider adoption of the cloud. We see a much greater focus on security. We've really beefed up the security questions in the last few years. One of the things I find interesting is that that's not something that's avoidable anymore. It's not just the lawyer's choice whether or not they employ modern security protocols. It's the clients saying you have to have modern security protocols. So we see increased responses regarding whether clients are requesting security audits, whether or not security is included in their client agreement. It's very interesting data to me. So
yeah, it is really cool. So Zach, I wanted to kind of start to wrap up, but to say maybe you could sketch out some of the other things that the law practice division does. I think people are sometimes surprised, like women rainmakers and things like that. Do you have like a good list of what to expect? And I guess what's your pitch to the ABA member to spend the extra money to join the law practice division?
Well, thank you for the question. And I think for me, it really comes down to the content that we produce to support the areas of focus that we have. And whether that's digital content or whether it's our publishing and our physical books and our ebooks, these are things that people are asking us for, where we have that in-house practice management expertise. We have some of the best experts in all of practice management writing this content, producing this content for us, and genuinely giving back to the profession in that sense. And to me, that's the reason to come to us, to have access to that content, to have access to those expertise. These folks are readily accessible. You can see who they are by the magazine articles that they write. You can come to our live events and see them present CLE programs. And just to have that kind of access, to come to us seeking that kind of knowledge or seeking that kind of assistance to your problems, and getting kind of that direct interaction with those people to help you solve those problems is critical to their success. So we're here to help, and we have the people within our group to lead and guide you through that.
Yeah, that's great. And Josh, I mean, I there's another aspect that you could probably speak to, which is there really is a feel of community to this group, and I would say, Josh, you are always going to be part of this community, no matter what you do. I actually ran into a former law practice back when we were section employee who saw me yesterday, and they came up and introduced. He's not even involved in ABA anymore. So there's that sense of community. So it's actually a nice place to find a home in ABA, don't you think?
It absolutely is. And, that's something I've heard members say over the years. We have a lot of great entities at the ABA, lots of good homes, but LP is a very welcoming community. I think the nature of what LP does, focusing on the business of practicing law, gives it a little bit different character. And there's a lot of, eager acceptance of good ideas and good people. And so, I love going to the meetings. I love Tech Show. I love it maybe a tiny bit more now that I don't have to worry about the headaches, but it's just great fun. It's great to see the people that you've been seeing for 10 years. And at the same time, you're not having the same conversation you've had for 10 years. You get to see people in this context where you can talk about new things and new ideas, and it's exciting and it's invigorating. If I left the ABA tomorrow, I would still be an ABA member to be a member of the Law Practice Division for sure.
That's great. And while we've reached the end of the road for today's episode, I want to thank our guests, Zach and Josh, for joining us. We also want to thank our listeners for tuning in. If you like what you've heard, please find and rate us in Apple Podcasts, and we'll see you next time for another episode of On the Road with the Legal Talk Network.
If you'd like more information about what you've heard today, please visit LegalTalkNetwork.com. Subscribe via iTunes and RSS. Find us on Twitter and Facebook, or download our free Legal Talk Network app in Google Play and iTunes. The views expressed by the participants of this program are their own and do not represent the views of, nor are they endorsed by, Legal Talk Network, its officers, directors, employees, agents, representatives, shareholders, and subsidiaries. None of the content should be considered legal advice. As always, consult a lawyer.